I believe many of you have seen this video. I also made one with a try mentality. I found a lot of Wi-Fi when I connected to the computer. At this speed, there could be a barrage right here. That's because I have this security window in my house. It has a strong shielding effect, so this internet speed has been unable to improve. What if we put this antenna straight down? You can get better results, but afraid of falling and hitting someone, so I didn't try again. Well, now we are officially teaching you to make this Wi-Fi antenna. First of all, we're gonna buy the copper, and it's gonna be copper. You can see that there are already clear ones here. You can buy this one if you don't want the mess around. Buy this copper sheet. Be sure to ask the seller the diameter of the inner hole. Then select the corresponding chair rod and screw. Otherwise, it would be like this. The other one, you buy your own copper sheet and cut it yourself. This is where you need scissors and compasses and electric drills. The chair rod is selected according to the size of the middle opening. What if you did it yourself? Depending on the size of your drill. If you buy ready-made, then you need to ask the seller how big your hole is. I can buy the right size. And 5 here represents the chair rod diameter of 5 mm. Pick and tear dry and then choose the corresponding nut. There's a caveat here, because the bigger it is, the bigger the nut will be. The last 3 pieces of copper, its guts are getting smaller and smaller. If you have to screws here, it will be thick. One screw is thin. This is embarrassing. What's the solution if you cut the hole yourself? Then you can choose a thinner chair dry. This will make the screws thinner. Bold of you. Just about the right position. If you have it custom made, it's the one that's already open. Then you buy this gasket. It's just these little parts that hold it up. Just pat it to the right thickness. Next up is the wireless card. Choose a USB card with an antenna. The lowest speed is good enough. And don't choose the 5G version, because 5G has a weak wall penetration. Basically, you can't find the 5G Wi-Fi. So what difference does it make? Because I don't pick equipment. I can handle a $3 or $5. So if you're gonna use this for a long time, buy a better one. Yeah, just use it once. $3 or $5 should be enough. And the copper bead flux. Because that piece of copper is copper. Just suck it up and weld it. It's a non-stick. That's what I got. The seller didn't say I didn't buy it. Then I had to use WGA welding fluid. Barely welded it on. If you had this, you would have welded it on. The effect is very good and the welding is very strong. Mine looks like a big, ugly mess. It's because there's no such thing. The connection between the antenna and the computer requires a wire. There are 2 options here. Well, let's start with the short plan. Short ones can use this USB extension cable. You solder the network card to the end of the antenna, then use a USB extension cable to the USB port on your computer. This is relatively expensive. Your 1.5 meters 2.0 speed is actually 2.0. 3.0 not necessary because there are only 4 contacts. 2.0 here is about $20. This is the short solution. If you're wrong, the antenna is far away from the computer, so you can choose this line. This connection isn't really necessary, because when you pushed it away, it has a core inside and an insulating layer outside. Just solder it on. This is the same for 5 meters, and this is only $6. 20 meters for less than $20. This is much cheaper, and this is a much longer transmission distance. Select the specific loss cable or USB extension cable. Depends on whether you need to move your computer. If your computer is in the house, the antenna doesn't move when it's outside. Then the loss line is fine. If you want portability, like running around with a laptop, we need this antenna. Then USB extension cable is a good choice because it's easy to disassemble. After I bought the materials, we can start assembling. Before you put it together, take these 2 big ones on. Then put the middle hole. Align the disks aligned together. Then use a nail or a drill. It's about a centimeter away from where this little tray is. Use a ruler to measure it. 1 centimeter like that. Punch a hole. The two disk holes must be synchronized. Otherwise, this is you. It'll make it harder for you to wear the thread. Let's say if we filled this hole again, punch it in line so the hole is crooked. Make sure you finish this hole. This disc is. The small one must be about a centimeter from the edge to the middle. Just punch a hole. And then after the piercing, we'll give it this piece of copper. Put it on top of this rib dry. Here, I found your drawings. For your reference, I used the second one. When it's being installed well, the chair rod doesn't move the screw. Then twist it. It's equal to the approximate location. Use this. The ruler holds one side in place like this. Hold one side still. You can squint one eye and look the other way. So this. Just look at it. Put it in place one by one. Position it according to the size of the drawing. And then you can't move the screw. Because if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. He came loose when you put it in. So it is. The screw hole will not dry. And then when it's installed, just set the screws in place and tighten them. Now let's talk about this welding. Well, first of all, let's talk about this network card. When you get the card back, it's very long. It's actually mostly empty. Remove the shell from it. It looks like this. It's covered in a metal wrapper. There's a wire in here. We put this outside this layer of metal. This screen is actually a shield. Welded to the largest disk. And isn't there a line with insulation in the middle? This wire with insulation is the boss. Thread this insulation through the back. Through this hole and through this hole. And then weld it onto the second disk. Remove this insulation. Just dip it in copper column flux and solder it on. The shield is welded to the top of the largest disk. That's alright. And then the other side holds it in place. This is connected to the USB singing cable. You can connect to your computer. That would be the end of the story. And then, let's talk about this a little bit more. If you were to buy a lost line, check the insulation off the outside of this. And then inside of it is this screen, or aluminum foil. All we need is the screen. Because this aluminum foil doesn't weld well. Check this. Screen the nut to it, twist it together. I can do without this. This is the inside floor. You wear this all the way through. Just go through the first and second discs. It's like this. You put this copper core. Just go through it. Because if you don't open it very wide, the insulation layer of this defect line is other than the defect line. The insulation on this signal line inside is thick. You're not gonna get through this. Therefore, your hole doesn't have to be that big. Or maybe you can't turn it that big. There aren't that many tools. Here it is after you put it away. Because this insulation is gone, you can use that heat shrink tube outside. Or electrical tape. Wrap it around the outside. Wrap it up and then go through it. When you go through it, peel it off over here. Strip off the excess insulation and put it down. After you put it down, use this B flux of copper. Dip it in and solder it on with a soldering iron. This end is much easier. You like here. There is no contact between this wire and this disc. Insulation has to be done. This disc has to be in contact with this, so we need to weld this big disc here. We need to get this nut off. Solder it on. Also copper column flux plus soldering iron plus tin. Just solder it on. So the other end. But at the end of the day, are you still going to connect to this network card? It's the same with the network card. You need to connect this card in the same way as the other end. The center of the network card connects to this cable. Got this, above the signal line. We're missing the shield on the outside of the signal line. This copper shield. Just weld this to the screen. This end can then be plugged directly into the computer. Just fine. I hope I made that clear. Feel free to ask in the comment section if you don't understand. This was done in the initial test. You can see W and to it. The external network card can search for a lot of signals, but switch back to the pen. The built-in network card in the notebook is gone. Because there are fewer smartphones here, there's even less Wi-Fi at home, so it's hard to hook it up with the master key. This is all I can get is a signal and no Wi-Fi connection. There's no way to test it. I tried that to change this antenna directly to this Wi-Fi register above, but then it failed. I've tried many times. All kinds of connections have been tried. No. This Mi 6 is connected to this wireless scheme. That switch doesn't turn up a signal. But this time I use my laptop to connect to the network card. It's searchable. I don't know if this is broken. This is the original antenna that was taken out of the trap. You can see there's no signal here. Actually, I've been looking for a computer. Can't make it happen. Asked a lot of people in the fan base. Some say yes and some say no. I also asked for some official numbers. The answer is 2. All different. I even tried using OTG's wire. Connect the antenna. If you use OTG normally, it's here. Displays if it is an external USB drive. I can't find the Wi-Fi either. Alas, that failed too. The phone's not working at all. Can't connect with. If you happen to be planning on building this antenna, and your router has a USB port, try using one. The data cable connects your phone to USB port on the back of the router. Unplug all the cables. Open your phone settings and take a look whether the USB sharing network can be turned on. If possible. So this antenna, most likely it can be connected to the router. It can be remotely accessed. If you succeed, please type your router model in the comments section. Thank you.